Awesome. Hello everyone, my name's Ryan from Voyager, another Voyager Vault, this time with Blair Holmes from Snap Rentals. He's the head of tech. Blair, I think you're in the room. You there, mate?
Yeah, right here. How you going?
Good, mate. Good to see you. I'm going to put us side by side. You're the much better looking fella, so we'll see how we go with this. Just a few questions, mate. Obviously, Snap Rentals works with Voyager, but we just wanted to find out a little bit more about Snap, and I guess the relationship with us, and what sort of transpired out of that. So, I guess the biggest thing is anyone out there who doesn't know what Snap Rentals is, who are Snap Rentals?
Yeah, cool. So Snap, we're a car rental company. We're not Snap Fitness. Just want to highlight that because
Yeah.
often when I say work for Snap, they say fitness. No. Yeah, car rental company turning 10 next year in February.
Wow.
So, which sounds like a while, but in terms of the car rental industry, Snap's super young.
Mm.
But yeah, in that time has really made up some good ground on. There's a lot of incumbents that have been around 20, 25 years, both independents in New Zealand, and then you got the multinationals, your Hertz and Budget, etc. as well,
Yeah.
that Snap's actually competing with now in a relatively short amount of time.
Wow. And it would be pertinent to say that your industry is super competitive. I'm guessing. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And in the vehicle rental side of things, what do you think you guys point at differences in the market? Like when you were talking about obviously, the big. I hate using the word big boys, but the big companies, the Avis and all those other people in the world. What makes you guys a little bit different?
Yeah. So I think the guys started it 10 years ago with a view that car rental is not really about cars. No one gets that excited. Like, you don't, primarily it's used by holiday makers, right? No one's that excited about the car. You're not, you're not going on holiday to rent a car.
It's not your first thought, no.
No. So yeah, basically the guys thought, well, can we shake this up? Because it feels like it's about the car. And basically tried to focus, I guess, more on the human factor and really on service. And yeah, basically getting people in and getting them out the door as fast as possible with a smile on their face because they've got somewhere else they'd rather be. The
Mm,
cars are means to an end.
yeah.
And yeah, they've really used a lot of technology, I guess, to try and empower staff to make that happen and just make our customers' lives and our staff's lives a bit easier as well.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's when you're thinking about going away on holiday, and I've just recently done it in Brisbane as well, and a car was important, but I guess it's a means to an end sort of
Yeah,
side of
it's
things.
important to get right,
Yeah,
but also it's not why you're there.
no, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
What have you guys, 10 years is quite young when you think about it. What changes have you guys seen in the last 10 years? Obviously, ugh, the fuel is obviously a big deal with what's going on. What have you guys done to sort of we talked about obviously using technology and things like that, but what have you seen in your industry that's really put the handbrake on, and how have you guys sort of worked through that?
Yeah, I guess it's hard to
Mm,
with COVID. I mean, that's a pretty massive impact on an industry that is, I guess, it's really dependent on tourism
yeah,
and people getting around. So
yeah,
it's really hard to think about the that sort of period and not look at what happened with COVID.
yeah.
But I guess car rental is kind of archaic, and it has been with just the processes, and there's a lot of paperwork in that. So I think now with the guys really embracing technology, they've been able to move away from a lot of paperwork. We
Mm,
try to not have any paperwork at all, and try and speed up those processes as much as possible. So I mean, all our staff have iPads that they completely, everyone people can either sign electronically before they come to the depot to pick up, or can sign there right on the iPad. We take the photos of the cars right there, upload to our system, and that sort of thing. So I think you can kind of see it now as with other competitors as well, getting it that it's a yeah. We got to move people out of the depots. They're not there for us.
yeah.
Not there for us at all.
No.
Uh,
I
Yeah,
keep
but
forgetting. Because like I don't know. Like I try and forget COVID, obviously, but
yeah,
it is what it was. And yeah, like for you guys, yeah, petrol for sure. But there was no one traveling, and no
it's
movement.
literally zero revenue.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
that's the and it's also I don't know. I'm thinking about what's the most heavily affected businesses, and car rentals up there because you've got tons of expensive assets generating zero revenue. So
Happy
it's quite
days.
yeah, yeah. So, but the guys managed to Patrick and Jamie, the owners, are pretty crafty,
Mm,
and yeah, they managed to get through COVID actually without losing any FTE
wow.
by they switched out, started using the cars for delivering groceries,
Wow.
basically, which through Snap Delivery, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really helped carry Snap through those lockdown months and that sort of thing.
Wow. Wow. And a huge transition in general, like to go. I mean, everyone wants revenue in a business for sure, and it's when it's like that it can be pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
So I guess what do you see? Well, obviously we talked a lot about technology and you guys leveraging and removing the paperwork. My wife works in the healthcare industry, and even I think about some of the paperwork they have to go through, and it's just so archaic. So it's
yeah,
great that you
yeah.
guys are kind of leveraging that stuff, which is really cool. What sort of stuff is happening for the future without delving into anything commercial? But where do you see Snap Rentals in sort of the next sort of 2 or 3 months, like 2 or 3 years, I should say? I guess it's a bit of a rebirth with people traveling now and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a tough time, I guess. It's a lot better than it was, but
Hmm.
there's yeah, it's a bit awkward just not really knowing what's going to happen. Is next year going to be? Are we going to be back to 2019 levels?
Yeah,
That sort of thing. It's a bit awkward with. I mean, the overall supply of rental cars is quite low, so managing demand and that sort of thing. It's a little bit of an awkward time.
mm,
But I think in 2 to 3 years, yeah, we just want to get back to playing in the normal world, really. Pick up a bit more of that international market. And yeah, from a tech side, we're really looking to automate as
yeah,
much as we
nice. It's a huge
can.
deal. I always been being in the marketing side and digital automation. You have to serve customers while you sleep, and you have to,
Yeah,
and generate revenue while you sleep, and just implement those 1%ers that just make life easier for everyone.
yeah, that's right. It's going to be a massive focus going forward, and helping our customers to like serve themselves as well. I think that's
Yeah,
a big chunk of customers want to be able to do and make changes right then and there. They don't want to wait for messaging back and forth and that
yeah,
sort of thing. Not to
yeah,
say that's not important because a
yeah.
lot of people like that human aspect, but yeah, so automation's a big one, and then I think the second thing is there's so many moving parts in car rental, so we're really looking, and there's so many data points. We're really focusing on data and live dashboards, and yeah, trying to I guess tell a bit of a story with our data to help decision making, help incentivize staff, and yeah, that's sort
Nice.
of in the tech space. That's where we're moving. But then in terms of business, we've expanded quite a lot in the
Yeah.
last 2 years. So
Yeah, I was
from
going to say maybe extend on that. Like, where are you guys located, and how can you help customers right throughout the country? I'm guessing is that the deal?
yeah, we're in 4 locations, so Auckland City, Airport, and then Christchurch and Queenstown.
Nice.
So that's with car rental, but yeah, we in the last 2 years we've grown. We've got two more businesses, and we're
Wow.
about to launch another one too. So we've got truck hire through USave.
Oh wow,
Um,
cool.
pretty similar to Snap, kind
Nice.
of. It's just hiring vehicles, but we've got a couple of cool businesses that will be launching soon as well. Well, sorry, one is launched our Snap Subscribe, which is electric car subscription,
Oh,
which
that's
is
awesome.
yeah, it's obviously everything's going electric, like you were just mentioning petrol
Yeah.
and fuel before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane how popular it's been as well. Like we've been fully maxed out on like all cars out the door subscribed for the last 6 months.
Wow.
Uh, so
That's
keeping up with
huge.
the market is yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so much more affordable when you're not paying money
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
travel. Like
It's funny you
yeah,
should say that. We've had a wee VW e-Golf that my wife uses to run around town, and it's just not worth having I've got a diesel vehicle. I hardly
Yeah.
use it. And I mean, I
Yeah.
know diesel is even more expensive than petrol now when you include,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, at the pump and also with road users as well. But honestly, this wee V-dub just goes back and forth, does its job, plug it in, and you're away laughing. And I guess, like you say, accessing vehicles in the electric side of things has become a lot more cheaper and affordable.
Yeah.
Teslas aren't, 90 plus. Well, you can get them for sure, but
Yeah.
you can access them pretty easy now. That's really cool. No, I'm interested in the truck rental side as well. Like that's a cool little, especially with supply chains the way they are at the moment.
Yeah.
Pretty tough gig for a number of people. That's really cool. Through the dark days, the COVID days, did you guys just continue to advertise, or did you shut up shop, or were you always prevalent? How did that all sort of keep going, so to speak?
Yeah. The guys' appetite for risk is pretty high. Like, and they sort of learned from, I guess, the recession back in 2008, global financial crisis, that businesses that advertised during that time gained a lot of ground, and so yeah, post the initial lockdown when we were literally making $0,
Yeah, yeah.
a a lot of money started going into advertising to try and make up ground, and it works.
Mm,
With
mm.
some of our we
It's an opportunity when people go out of the market because they're not advertising. It tends to be ones that survive. Like I've been in marketing for a few years now, and that was the same. Those that are consistent and often would always win, and
yeah
those that kind of were silent, 3 days a week, probably didn't in the long game didn't have the same kind of traction, which is interesting.
yeah.
Cool, man. Oh no, that's really exciting with all those developments going on. What's been the biggest insight? I guess obviously you being head of tech, what have you found has been like the silver bullet, the silver lining, the gold over that period? Has it been really the automations and just going all in on tech?
Um, I think we would have done that regardless of we would have started looking to do that regardless of COVID, and what's done there. I guess it's I think the silver lining is we're able to pick up some ground. We learned to operate unbelievably lean, obviously.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, yeah, and not losing those FTE. We've still
No,
retained
huge.
most of the staff now, and we've got people that have been through it all. So in terms of, I think that's a huge silver line. It's like we've got some really, really good staff that we can trust with pretty much anything.
Yeah, smart cookies there too, by the sounds of it. Patrick's been filling me in a little bit of story, which is cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, nice. Cool, man. No, that's cool. That kind of wraps up a little bit around, I guess, your guys. I know you're on the tech side rather than the ownership side, so I really wanted to deep dive into that more. One question I was going to ask is, what do you say, or what would you say as a person who's adopted tech to a business owner that's probably nervous, not too sure if it's the right way to go? Would you just say, mate, give it a crack? What's to lose? Or how would you? Because obviously, in your side of things, you being tech heavy, you must come across people that are just like, whoa, we can't do this. We're always being paper. What do you say to a business owner like that?
Yeah, I think give it a crack. Obviously, the benefits are huge, and it's not. I think with most things, you can see it's all digital, it's all traceable, so you can actually put data to assumptions. So
Mm,
instead of saying, "Oh, we think this might go all right," you should be able to pull and see exactly how all right it's doing, not
mm,
just sort of how you feel like it's going. Having said that, I get the apprehension, I guess, around it because there's a lot of snakes
yeah,
in the tech space. There's a lot of people making a lot of money not
yeah,
doing not doing a lot of work. So having get good recommendations, get good people
yeah,
um,
yeah.
to
I come
implement.
across it all the time. I do a lot of, obviously on the Facebook side, but I do a lot of messenger marketing. And when you try and explain to somebody that we can create, if we create more conversations, still have a human element to it, obviously at the end of the phone. But if we can create more conversations, it always leads to more conversions.
Yeah,
And as long as it's a natural flow, like I've got a couple of messenger bots that have just shifted, 26 million worth of property, and you try and show somebody that and the automation, they're like, really, how could that? But it does work. It does have more conversations, and more people are going through those routes in digital. And you look at the yellow pages; it's slowly going like this. And now, when someone picks up the phone, although you have to have a customer service base and a humanistic side, people don't.
You can't go all in on either side, really. You've got to. You still got to remember there's people. You've got to have a people element.
Yeah, 100%, and it's got to be service based as well. Nice, man.